Hola, it's me, Dora. I mean, Yenny. Yenny. Well, it's that time of year again. That time where the summer fun withers, dies, and falls to the ground along with the leaves. Yep. It's back to school time! Even in my advancing years, this time of year still gives me anxiety, as I find myself in a zombified state shopping for Trapper Keepers and unicorn folders, as the advertising that they started at the fucking beginning of June finally starts to bore into my brain.
Back to school, to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool.
Life was definitely simpler, especially in the schoolyard, where dodgeball was a rite of passage and everyone had a mandated cootie shot. So, in honor of back to school time, I thought I would do a little countdown involving the top 10 bagged lunches of yesteryear.
I wonder what wondrous mysteries my mommy packed in my lunch today. Oh boy, a tuna sandwich. Really stale. And thin Pepperidge Farm bread. Huzzah!
Was there anything worse than being the kid who brought tuna to school? The entire cafeteria would stare at you for making the entire place smell like a diseased vagina. And then the pointing and staring. Thanks, Ma! Well, let's get to the goodies that some loving parents have put in your lunchbox. Coming in at number 10, we have Teddy Grahams! Teddy Grahams came in 3 flavors. Awesome, badass, and fuck yeah!
Tasty Teddy Grahams.
They were like amped up animal crackers with this awesome shellac coating. And much like animal crackers, they were an exercise in sadism as messed up kids would mercilessly bite their bastard little heads off. Teddy Grahams. The first step in the flowchart to serial killer. At number 9, you have combos. Perfect, cylindrical pretzel or crackers filled with cheese goop. Combos was either developed by the mind of a child or a complete fucking stoner.
What is that ringing?
Combos basically goes from your favorite childhood snack of yesteryear to a impulse purchase after a night of drink and drug-filled debauchery.
Doop-a-doo.
Push Pops coming at number 8. Push Pops are basically a stickless lollipop in which you use your finger to push up to eat.
You never pushed a push pop? You don't know what your mouth is missing.
It even comes with a little cap that you can put on top in case you wanted to save it for later. You know, it sounds good on paper, except if you were to ask anybody who's used one, they would tell you about the serious design flaw. Going back to the street after a serious suck session,
Giggity, 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 let's have sex!
I realized that my fingers were really sticky, and kind of felt like I was fingering a gummy bear's butthole. At number 7, we have Capri Sun. How would I describe the taste of a Capri Sun? You don't know how the foggiest fucking clue. I never got that far. Reason being is because this frustrating juice pouch was as impenetrable as Wonder Woman's Amazonian snatch.
The skirt can be discarded if it should prove cumbersome. The material is indestructible.
All it would give you was a dinky yellow straw and a hearty fuck you as your stupid, fat, childlike hands would stab at its silver monolith. Alright, you'd end up stabbing yourself more than the drink, leaving you basically dying of thirst.
Give me that Capri Sun, son.
And I know what you're saying. Yo, J-Bones, if you don't like it, why is it on the countdown? Ugh. Because, alright, no mere mortal has ever consumed one. Therefore, it must be the nectar of the gods.
Capri Sun all day.
Next is Gushers at number 6. No, I'm not lactating. Gross. Now, how in the blue hell can I describe Gushers without making it sound dirty? Okay. Gushers was a delicious treat that would explode in your mouth when... There is nothing I enjoyed more than popping one of those bad boys in my mouth and suck. You would put it in between the roof of your mouth and your tongue. You know, you could try putting about 10 of them in your mouth and seeing Gushers taste good. At number 5, we have Fruit by the Foot. The ridiculously long candy that can be nursed in 3 ways. You could nurse it slowly inch by inch, roll it into a wad and stick it in your mouth to chew on, or turn it into a whip. I suspect the only reason why they even made Fruit by the Foot was because kids couldn't figure out the Hellraiser puzzle that was the fruit roll-up. At number 4, we have Dunkaroos, aka meth for kids. They were peddled to us by an unassuming kangaroo with an Aussie accent.
Dunkaroos is the cookie you drunk for as much frosting as you want.
And this kangaroo dude was pretty much the Walter White of his time, with his product being 99.1% pure, and would keep us at a sugar high until it was time to do our homework, and then we would crash like Robert Downey Jr. Well, you know, prior to his Iron Man days. And don't pretend you didn't get all that frosting onto one cookie for that quicker rush. I know what you kids do. I've been there. Next is Lunchables at number 3. Lunchables was the perfect thing for lazy parents to send their kids off to school with.
No, he's not fat.
Crackers that were a little too moist, a hunk of government cheese, and sweaty slices of nondescript meat. 'Twas a feast fit for a king! And if you were lucky enough to have pizza Lunchables, you were the most badass motherfucker to hold court at the lunch table. I didn't microwave mine. That was kind of an odd choice. At number 2, we have a juice box with serious geek cred. High C Ecto Cooler. The chartreuse tangerine flavored beverage was a classic addition to any kid's lunch, and though it hasn't graced the shelves in many years, we still remember Slimer's smiling mug on the package as if it was yesterday.
New high C flavor with an outrageous fruit taste. And what are we gonna call it? Ecto Cooler.
Not for anything else, but a re-release of this classic beverage is a pretty good reason to go ahead with a 3rd Ghostbusters film. We round the countdown with an all-time favorite, the Twinkie! Sponge cake with a cream filling. Oh, the Twinkie is perfection in its simplicity. It was the Highlander of lunchtime snacks, single-handedly decapitating snowcaps, yodels, fruit pies, and don't get me started on those dry clump of shit devil dogs. With Hostess facing bankruptcy, the future of the Twinkie is uncertain, and the prospect of living in a world without them is utterly terrifying. To those of you going back to school, I am deeply sorry. To those of you who are done with school, those nightmares where you have to take a test that you didn't study for naked should start to dissipate in a couple of days, and to those of you who dropped out of school, enjoy your pot brownies and your Call of Duty matches. And as always, stay geeky, my friends.